These tips right here can change your entire life. And these tips right here can give you so much momentum that once you gain results from these, you'll naturally want to go down the path of health and fitness. So start small. We live in this age where you consume YouTube stuff. It starts off with like shaming you, just telling you how fat you are, how out of shape you are, how you're not in the top percentage of men. Fuck all of that bullshit. Hey brother. So I want to talk to you about something that might seem kind of out of left field. And that is the subject of fat loss. Here in America, I think it's something like 70% of people are overweight now. And I've moved from this place of judgment to genuine compassion, because I understand how difficult that is for most people. America especially is set up in a way that is not conducive for a healthy body composition. Everywhere you go, the default is extremely high calorie foods. And so, if you live in a whole society where the norm is to consume and overconsume, then naturally you're going to be like everybody else. So, a huge part of fitness and the most difficult part is losing body fat. So I'm going to tell you just some basics. If you're a seasoned fitness guy, this video probably won't be for you, because essentially I'm going to explain to you what I would explain to my younger self when I was very frustrated. I couldn't lose body fat. I was going to the gym. I was doing little bouts of cardio and nothing seemed to work. And this one very, very basic thing, if most people did this, which they don't, I know for certain they don't, would really help kickstart you in your fat loss journey. And the key to anything in life is gaining just a little bit of momentum. Because when you get momentum, that creates enthusiasm. And then when you have a degree of enthusiasm, you want to go deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. So, before I go any further, I need to plug the fact that I do have a fitness course. It's very in-depth. If you want to go deeper after this video, you can check that out. It's part of the Conscious Men community. It comes with a membership. And if not, that's okay. You can go down the rabbit hole of my other videos on this channel. I think I've got maybe 3 or 4 health and fitness videos on the channel that you can find. Those will help you as well. So here it is. Walking. Hear me out for a second. I walk every single day, multiple times a day. And what I have found is in my apartment complex, I want to say it's pretty big. There's like 500 units. There's only maybe 3 or 4 people that I see who regularly walk. It's always the same people, whether it's at night, whether it's in the morning, whenever I, walk around. Sometimes I'll listen to a podcast, sometimes I'll listen to music, sometimes I'll just leave my phone at home so I can observe my thoughts. It's kind of like a spiritual practice. But every single time, it is literally always the same people. And so out of this 500 unit apartment complex, most people do not have a regular walking practice. And most people are overweight. So, really easy place to start. If you want to gain some momentum, track your steps. Okay, you can either get like a fancy Apple Watch, I don't have one of those, or you can just put your iPhone in your pocket and that will track your steps. If you're mostly sedentary right now, and then you decide to implement this, and when you start to regularly walk, I promise you that you will start to see some results in terms of fat loss. This is low-hanging fruit, okay? This is a great place for you to start. Once you implement this and it becomes a part of your life, and I will say, this can become a part of your life forever. In every season of my life, no matter how busy, I always figure out a way to get at least 10,000 steps in. This is a non-negotiable for me. But once you implement this, the next stage would be to continue to keep this in place and then get very deeply acquainted with the concept of a calorie deficit. Basically, all that is, you have a maintenance calories that you need every day to stay at the current weight that you're at. So whatever that is, you calculate that. There's different maintenance calorie calculators online. I could personally help you with this if you want to join the Conscious Men community. However, this is something that you can easily find on your own. And then you take that maintenance number and you just reduce it by 500. That's a good place to start for someone who's like maybe skinny fat. If you're severely overweight or obese, then you can do a deeper deficit of like 1,000 calories. This will add to the fat loss. If you're doing walking and you do this, it will supercharge everything. If you don't want to calculate calories, but you want to get started with some kind of deficit, a very easy way to implement this is intermittent fasting. It's been kind of a popular thing, but to simplify it, you can essentially push your first meal back every single day as far as you can. So if normally you wake up in the mornings and you eat breakfast at 10 a.m., push the meal back to noon, and then eventually push it back to the afternoon, like 2 o'clock. This gets easier over time. Your body adapts. The hardest part initially is you realize how emotionally attached you are to certain meal timings. But eventually you adapt, and a great tool to help you with this during the fasting period is coffee. You can have black coffee. There's no calories in black coffee. If you absolutely can't stand the taste of black coffee, then you can add almond milk. I say almond milk because a whole cup, like a giant serving of it, is still only 30 calories. So it's basically nothing. It'll take some of the edge off of the black coffee. These tips right here can change your entire life. And these tips right here can give you so much momentum that once you gain results from these, you'll naturally want to go down the path of health and fitness. So start small. We live in this age where you consume YouTube stuff. It starts off with like shaming you, just telling you how fat you are, how out of shape you are, how you're not in the top percentage of men. Fuck all of that bullshit. Implement some of these simple tactics right here, gain some momentum, and then the next stage is going to be putting on some muscle. And this is actually very important because a lot of guys, they start off and they're like, yeah, I want to be lean, but then they start to go into calorie deficit and they lose weight, but they also either lose a little bit of muscle, or if they have no muscle, they don't really look as good as they were hoping they would. So I would encourage you to start doing some strength training, progressive overload on compound lifts. That's a whole other rabbit trail. Let's talk about steroids for just a second. Steroids. Don't take steroids. No matter what you see some of these influencers doing, no matter what you see Arnold and Chris Bumstead doing, these guys have dedicated their entire lives to fitness, and they have signed a contract with themselves to shorten their lifespans and to age faster. I'm 36 years old, and I have a better physique than 95% of men. I will never touch steroids. You couldn't pay me enough money to do that, to subject myself to aging faster and shortening my lifespan. Just don't even go near that. It's not worth it. All that being said, putting on muscle is a whole other topic. I can make a video about that if you want, put it in the comments. But in a nutshell, if I could sum up muscle building in one sentence, it is progressive overload, slowly getting stronger and stronger in the main compound lifts over time. And as you get stronger, you inevitably put on muscle, eat the right amounts of protein. That mixed with a low body fat percentage, you will look amazing. But I wanted to mostly address the fat thing just because, man, here in America at least, I don't know what country you're in watching this, but it is so depressing, dude. And my heart goes out to these people because everything is stacked against them. Nothing in this country is designed to have any kind of healthy body composition. On every street corner, there's a fast food restaurant. You go to Starbucks, you can buy a 1,000-calorie muffin that takes 5 minutes to eat, and it's like $3. And this is the kind of things that people consume, you know? I hope this gives you a place to start. Again, this isn't for advanced people, but this is an elephant in the room that I'm noticing. If you want to be in a body that you enjoy being in, step 0 of self-improvement is getting to a lower body fat percentage where you feel more comfortable in your skin and you just don't feel insecure taking your shirt off, essentially. Because I've been there, dude. I really have. I've been there. And it's painful. And so, at that point, if I had a friend, or an older brother, or somebody who could have just given me these little actionable steps to start, I would have made progress a lot sooner in my life. So, hope this helps you. I'm actually headed to Chipotle right now. Gonna get a double steak bowl and call it a day. You are loved. You matter. And you've barely scratched the surface of what you're capable of. I'll talk to you soon.